Hey guys, you're back with Steph Den, and today we're doing the long-awaited Wealthsimple Invest versus Wealthsimple Trade platform walkthroughs. If you've seen our recent financial plan and investment strategy videos, then you would know that I'm using both the Wealthsimple Invest and the Wealthsimple Trade platforms to invest this year, so we thought it would be useful to show you an in-depth look at them. Today we're going to cover both platforms, the pros and cons, how to actually set up your account, and our overall thoughts on Wealthsimple. So if you're excited for this video, as always, show us some love down below and let's jump right into it.
Before I kick it over to Steph so that she can do the walkthrough of Wealthsimple Invest, I do want to go over a couple of things. So I want to go over the pros and some of the cons with Wealthsimple Invest and Wealthsimple Trade. If we start off with some of the pros, obviously one of the biggest selling features for Wealthsimple and one of the main reasons why we're getting so many comments of so many people saying that they love using this platform is because it's super user-friendly. It's accessible through their app, through their desktop. One of the really big things that I really like about this platform is that they use plain language. And I think it's one of the main reasons why we don't have more people investing in general, but at the same time, it's also the main reasons why we have people flocking to these types of platforms, right? So something that I mentioned in our last video when we were talking about our actual strategy behind our investments was the number of accounts that they have to date. So if we go back, let's say a year ago, Wealthsimple was very limited in their number of accounts, but to date, they've got, a taxable account, they've got your registered accounts, a number of registered accounts, and I'll throw it up on the screen here. But not only do they have different types of accounts, they've also got different types of portfolio options. So for anyone who's looking for SRI investing or socially responsible investing, they've definitely got that. They've also got halal investing for anyone who's interested in that as well. So really you do have options that other brokerages are just catching up to as well. Obviously you can't forget about the zero commission trading. There's no account minimums to keep and to open the account. Overall, and like we said before, there's definitely some good pros here that justify you opening an account with Wealthsimple. Now on the flip side, there's definitely some cons that we need to go over as well. So number one, with Wealthsimple Trade, you have less stock selections. So I know that there's been a lot of people who've used Disney as an example, but that is a really prime example of a really big company that's just not listed on Wealthsimple. And the reason it's not available is because it's not CDS eligible, so the Canadian Depository of Securities has not approved it. So on that same point, you do also need to look at where the stock that you're trying to buy is actually listed and which exchange it's listed on. And to add to that, I asked Steph this week to look into a couple mining stocks. So if you know anything about mining stocks, they're usually pretty cheap. They're, penny stocks essentially, and they weren't listed. And the reason they're not listed is because they don't meet the criteria of 50 cents. So for a stock to be listed on Wealthsimple, it does also have to be at least trading at 50 cents or above. Another thing that we talked about in our last video, as well as our RSP video, is the inability to hold US cash in your Wealthsimple account. They don't currently allow you to do that, so you do have to pay the currency exchange, and we talked all about how that affects, dividend paying US stocks and all the above. So if you want to check that out, check out those other videos. So my final con that actually stumps a lot of people, and they usually don't figure it out until they've opened their account, is that Wealthsimple does not support real-time quotes of different stocks. So there is a 15-minute delay from the quote of the stock, so the stock price that you see, and what the actual real-time value of that stock is. At the end of the day, even with all these cons that I just listed, I don't actually believe they're true cons, because from what we've seen over the last little bit with Wealthsimple, they're a relatively new platform, but they're also a very innovative platform, and they've addressed a lot of the questions that they get from their customers. So do I believe that some of these will be an issue in the future? No, I don't.
Okay, to kick it off, we're gonna walk through the Wealthsimple Invest platform first. So let's dive into the computer. Okay, so you can see that we went to the Wealthsimple site, clicked log in, and here we are. What I'll show you in just a second is what's super nice is you can get to both the Wealthsimple Invest and Trade platforms from this one login spot. So again, I logged in, it welcomes me back, and I can click either the Wealthsimple Invest in Cash platform option or Wealthsimple Trade and Crypto. We'll be doing both today, but for now, I'm going to start with Invest. Okay, so now we are logged in and in the Wealthsimple Invest platform. Like I mentioned before though, you can toggle back and forth super easily right on the left-hand corner between your Invest and your Trade or Crypto accounts. Again, you can tell right off the top with Wealthsimple Invest how easy it is to read and understand. The screen is pretty simple when you first log in. It tells you what your total value of your account is at right now. So for myself, $7,030. It also tells you if you're up and down and by how much. So again, I'm currently down $969. Oh. But again, you can also see this graph underneath that tells you and shows you how your ups and downs have been going day over day. And you can see the value of your account at each time period as well. And you can also switch to actually looking at just a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, or 1 year view as well. So when you're still on the main page, you can then scroll down, and on the left-hand side, you have what's called your deposit insights. This is mostly telling you what you've deposited as of lately. So for myself, like you all know, I'm doing $1,000 every month in the middle of the month, and I have 1 auto deposit active on this one account that I have. So you can actually click in here too. It gives you your monthly breakdown of how much you deposited each month. So for myself, my initial contribution in December and then my January contribution. And I can actually access the managing my deposits button from here. So on this screen, you can really see how easy it is to transfer funds into your account. So you can add or remove funds, you can withdraw funds, or transfer an account altogether. So again, I have my linked bank account where my checking account and money is housed with TD Bank. It would be coming into my Wealthsimple TFSA account, which is the only one I have. It tells you your remaining contribution room right here. You enter in the amount. So let's say when I was updating my $1,000 a month deposit, I would put that amount here, schedule it for every month. You can click the date that you want that to start per month, and then you submit your deposit and you're good to go. You can also submit other schedules as well on top of every month. So you can go with every 2 weeks, every week, or just a one-time deposit as well. Again, there's a few more options here at the top where you can manage your automated funding or see your upcoming deposits as well. So I'll show you that for interest's sake. So again, mine's nice and simple. I just have every month on the 16th an automated $1,000 coming from my TD Bank checking account. Again, to navigate back to your main page, it's pretty easy. You click on the portfolio option here. You can also see your activity, or again, this whole moving funds page. You can also access it this way here at the top. So for now, let's dive back into my portfolio and scroll back down to below the deposit insights, where you see your actual Wealthsimple Invest account and your cash account if you happen to have one of those open too. For myself, I have my Invest account. It's my TFSA. It also shows me my balance, and I can click in here to get more details. So again, at the top, it tells you your account name, the value of your account. Again, if you're up and down, what your returns are looking like right now. You also have the option right here to rename your account. So I think the standard is just which one you choose. Mine's currently named TFSA because it's a TFSA account, but I could call it anything I want, Steph's retirement savings, anything like that, whatever I want to call it, you could rename it right here, which is fun. If you scroll down a little bit on this page, you get this fun graph. This is based on what your current contributions are looking like, what they'd expect you to have each year. So you can scroll through and they have a low, medium, and high estimate based on that as well. And again, keep in mind that if you're like me, you're going to be contributing more year over year, month over month as you continue to grow your income. So these values will change over time. It also shows you what the goal is that you set up your account for. So when I answered that setup questionnaire, when I opened my account, I said that my goal was to save in my TFSA for retirement or invest in my TFSA until retirement. So it's a longer term goal. And it also shows what my portfolio makeup is. So I've mentioned before that I have it set as a growth account with 80% invested in equities and 20% invested in fixed income and gold. So from here, you can also click in and view your specific holdings that they invested for you on your behalf with Wealthsimple Invest. Again, like I just mentioned, this is pretty interesting. I have an 80-20 split. Right now, it's currently at 70-30 just because it hasn't been rebalanced. So obviously things fluctuate over time and they're consistently rebalancing for you. It just hasn't been rebalanced yet right now. So you can see that my equities are made up of a variety of US equities, international equities, emerging market equities, Canadian equities, global, and US that are Canadian hedged as well. Going down below, my fixed income and gold is both government bonds, majority government bonds, some cash, some gold, and some company bonds as well. So let's click out of here and go back again to that main page by clicking portfolio at the top. One last thing, if I scroll down below here, is on the right-hand side, beside your deposit and account information, is also some useful articles and different information that Wealthsimple has on their site in general. I really like this. It's encouraging you to learn. Like you all know, my goal this year is not just to invest more, but also to learn more about investing in general. So it allows me to do both at the same time with Wealthsimple, which I like. They talk about their cash account. They have different articles like how to go from working in a steel mill to being the highest paid actor on TV, and a bunch of different money and investing articles here for you to check out as well. The last thing I'll show you on this high level review of the Wealthsimple Invest platform and overview is up here at the top is your rewards option. So if we click in here, it shows you this list of things that you can do to get some money managed for free on this platform. So I've done a few so far, like get the mobile app, turn on auto deposits. I signed up through a referral link, and you can also get your own referral link here at the top. In my case, I signed up with Den's, but I'm going to have ours linked in the description box down below. So if you are interested in opening up a Wealthsimple Invest account, you can use that referral code and have one thing checked off the list. And you can see the total amount that you have managed for free as well at any time on this page. Okay, so that is it for Wealthsimple Invest and my overview so far. I'm going to kick it over to Den right now to show you Wealthsimple Trade. Before that, if you have any questions on Wealthsimple Invest, let us know in the comments below and we'll dive into the next section.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump into the trade platform and see what it's all about. Let's go. So as we can see here, like Steph said earlier, we can choose between invest in cash and trade in crypto. So in this case, we're going trade in crypto. All right, so right off the bat, the first thing that you're gonna notice is how clean the dashboard is and how clean the landing page is, right? So right here, you can see that we have $0 in the account. It tells you the types of accounts that you have open within the trade platform. So she's got a personal RRSP and a TFSA. On the side here, we have our trade watch list. So for anyone who's used to other types of platforms, usually you might have somewhere where you keep an eye on certain stocks. So in this case, we've got Apple, Aritzia, I believe this is Brookfield Renewable. We've got a bunch here. So you can see how they're tracking, what their ticker's at right now. If we go down, we've got our crypto watch list as well. So we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think those are the main coins, right? So really, really clean. That's what I get from this right off the bat. So I guess the natural segue based on where we're at right now would be to talk about how we actually fund the account. So if I were to go here and pick one of my accounts here, if I were to pick the TFSA account, I would simply click add funds and it would take me to the add funds page here. So essentially what I would do is I would click here, add funds. It would link up with your bank account. So from this bank account over to this TFSA, you choose the amount you want to deposit, and then that's the amount that you will deposit. What is also interesting about this page here is that it shows you your portfolio. So today's price, today's value, and your all-time return. So these would have a value if we did have money invested. And we will do another update video where some of these numbers will be filled out because it'll actually have some of the stocks that we do have invested in. And yeah, that's sort of the whole funding exercise, I guess. So something that I'll talk about here is searching for a specific company that you want to invest in. You know, for example's sake, we want to buy one stock of Apple, right? Or stock in Apple. I would simply click here, type in Apple, or if I knew what the stock ticker was, then I would type in the stock ticker and it would bring it right up. And as soon as I click on it, you can see here that it shows you the performance in a little graph here. And you can toggle whether you want 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, whichever it is, right? And it shows you the highs and the lows. And it gives you some of the market details here. So what did the stock open at? What did it close at? Really, my point here is as you're looking to buy different stocks, you're going to notice how easy it is to navigate. And if we look here on the side, when you're going to place an order, you can choose which account that you want the trade to be done in. If it's your personal one, then it's within that account, your TFSA, your RRSP. Currently, those are the only 3 types of accounts that I believe they have on the trade platform, but I wouldn't be surprised in the future if they had more. Now, if we navigate here to the order type, you're gonna have 3 different types of orders, I believe. You're gonna have a market buy, you're gonna have a limit buy, and you're gonna have a stop buy. So I'll throw up on the screen what each different type means. But for example, if you wanna select market buy, whatever the market value of Apple shares are trading at that point in time, that's what it'll execute. And you do have to keep in mind that Wealthsimple Trade does have a 15-minute delay. So these prices aren't necessarily what the market is trading at because you do have that 15-minute delay. Now, if I go down, I can see the number of shares that I want to buy. So, you can toggle that and it'll show you it'll update as you go, what the estimated costs are. It'll show you the actual price. And then at that point, it's as easy as just clicking buy Apple, and then it'll hopefully execute at the price that you were hoping to buy it at. So something that's also super beneficial here is this little blurb about the actual stock at the bottom. And once again, like this is just so clean for anyone who is a beginner investor who's looking to learn more about investing. Having a little blurb at the bottom about the stock that you're trying to buy, what operations it engages in, where it's located. that sort of thing, that really does help you learn more about the stocks that you're purchasing. Now, if we scroll up and I go and I navigate here to the activity tab, you will see that it's pretty easy to filter the types of activities that have occurred within the account. So, going from buys to sells, to deposit withdrawals. Once again, super clean. So with all that being said, this is basically the trade platform. Once again, we will do another walkthrough once we do have the account fully funded and we do start buying some stocks and show you what it actually truly will look like. But yeah, for anyone who's looking to invest in different stocks, this is a good platform, as you can see, and it's super user friendly. So we will have a link once again down below in the comment box below. So make sure you check that out.
Last but not least, we also wanted to briefly talk about the process of setting up your Wealthsimple account. I'll also cover what it was like leaving my prior bank where I was investing before I joined Wealthsimple. So if that's not relevant to you and you don't need that information, then skip ahead to the time that's listed right now on the screen to get into the Wealthsimple account setup. Before using Wealthsimple, I did invest with TD Bank, specifically with TD E-Series, where I was very hands-off and not contributing that much. I think I ended up with about $7,000 after a year. The process of pulling my money out was pretty simple. I went ahead and redeemed the current value of all 3 of my funds, and then the money ended up coming back into my checking account with TD Bank, which was pretty easy. Now, the way that I did it, where I sold my funds and then opened up an account and just transferred the money in from my checking account, I did in theory lose contribution room that way, but I did it at the end of December and I gained that contribution room back in the new year, and I'm not maxed out right now anyway, so it wasn't a big deal for me. Just like the name, the process is pretty simple. The first thing that you do is answer a quick questionnaire where you need your personal details like your name, your birthday, your citizenship, your SIN number, your employment, so where you work and what your position is, different personal details like that. They ask you why you're investing, for how long you plan to invest, how much money you have to invest, and what level of knowledge you have right now. They then go ahead and suggest your portfolio type, whether that's growth, balanced, or conservative. And from there, you're good to open up your account. So you can choose between a couple of different types, like a TFSA, an RRSP, a personal account, a joint account, an LIRA, an RESP, a spousal RRSP as well, many different options, and you choose at that point. Then the final step is signing all the paperwork digitally online. I think I was trying to screen record me scrolling through it, but it took about 10 minutes to scroll through everything and sign, so make sure you take your time with that as well. But after that, you are done signing up. If you do have any lingering questions after this about the process of signing up for a Wealthsimple account, let us know in the comments below and we'll get back to you there.
Alright guys, that's it for this video. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you found the walkthrough informational. Once again, for anyone who has any questions on Wealthsimple, let us know down in the comments box below and we will hopefully get back to you with an answer. We've mentioned this before, but once again, we'll be doing updates every now and then on Steph's Wealthsimple portfolio, so make sure you are subscribed to stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen our previous videos on investing, on money, make sure you do check them out next door. We will be back soon with some more videos, so make sure you stay tuned and make sure you stay subscribed. Let's get it.